What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. A big round of applause and massive congratulations are in order for Prince Harry, because guess what? Oh yes. Oh yes. He just won a landmark lawsuit against the British press, and at the head of the British press during a majority of the time frame of his complaints was none other than Piers Morgan, someone who has completely dedicated his life to harassing and stalking Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. So what did Prince Harry win? First of all, $180,000 in damages, which seems like a lot to you and I, but it's really nothing in the grand scheme of things for Prince Harry. I think this lawsuit was more about the principle of the matter. The ruling was handed down just today, Friday morning in London, by Judge Timothy Fancourt. And in his ruling, he explained that MGN-owned newspapers unlawfully gathered personal details about Prince Harry's life and published them for the world to read. Not only that, but it was also determined that the British tabloids hacked Prince Harry's phone and in order to gain access to his voicemail messages for their stories, which should alarm you. I know a lot of people have been brainwashed into hating Harry and Meghan by, this exact same press that keeps on losing lawsuits that he files against them. But you should be worried as a person that there are news outlets that do illegal things like this, like hack people's phone records in order to get information about this, because this isn't the first time they've done this. They've done this to Prince Charles as well. How do you think we know about him wanting to be King Charles? How do you think we knew about him wanting to be Queen Camilla's tampon, right? It was through hacking. Princess Diana was hacked. The British press, I'm sorry, but it is so toxic and it has killed so many people. So I think it's great that there is someone like Prince Harry who is not afraid to go up against them and, sue them for all their worth, which I think is incredible. This is the second or third lawsuit that he's won against them already. It's wonderful. So there were 33 articles published by the Sunday Mirror that Prince Harry referenced in his lawsuit, and the judge found that 15 out of the 33 articles contained information that was illegally gathered by hacking into Harry's personal phone between the years 2004 and 2009. There were a grand total of 147 newspaper stories that were brought into evidence, and many of them were forensically analyzed throughout the trial as well. The suit, it sounds a little bit confusing because we're throwing out all of these, articles, it's 33 articles, but 147 newspaper stories. He's mentioning 2004 to 2009, but then a lot of the allegations in the lawsuit also take place earlier than that and later than that. There are some allegations that go back to 1991 when he was still a child, right? Up until 2011. So there is an awful lot going on here. So if you weren't keeping up with the trial, I do implore you to get a deep dive into it and everything like that, because it is rather interesting. Prince Harry testified for 7 hours, a total of 7 hours in this trial, and he is the first senior royal to take the witness stand in a court of law, which is a major thing, because typically, as he revealed both in his Netflix documentary and in his book Spare, which I think was the best-selling book of this year, if I'm not mistaken, the royals have a fear of confronting the British press because they are in bed with the British press. And unfortunately, because they are in bed with these people, they have to sell each other out as a family in order to avoid negative stories being published against them. So sometimes you'll have their father, Charles, briefing against his own son. Sometimes he'll brief against William and Kate, which is something you've been seeing a lot lately. I know I've done a couple stories on this, but it seems obvious that the new target, now that Meghan and Harry aren't around to be the whipping boys for the royals, the new targets, from what I'm seeing in terms of the way that the press is leaning in their stories, are William and Kate. And who would be selling out William and Kate? I personally believe it's Camilla, less so King Charles, but back in the day, there were instances and allegations of Prince Charles selling out his kids. There were allegations of him selling out Princess Diana. The list really does go on, and it is quite worrisome. So typically they don't like to go to trial or anything like that, because they feel like once you take them to trial and you sue them and everything like that, they start seeing red and they'll start publishing really ugly articles against you. And the British royals do need positive articles written about them in order to help continue to maintain support from them, from their public, right? Like, if the public doesn't want to have the monarchy anymore, if they feel like it's a waste of money or whatever, and it's just too negative of a thing, they can go ahead, they can take to the streets and protest like never before and have the monarchy overthrown. Take it from France. I don't think they're going to behead the royals or anything like that, like they did here in France, but they can definitely have their voices heard and potentially have this dismantled. I know certain countries who are a part of the Commonwealth have decided that they wanted to get out of it. They're like, what do we get out of this thing? And look at the ugly, disgusting history that these people brought to us, right? Like, we're part of this monarchy through force, through slavery, through robbery, and all sorts of things. So we no longer want anything to do with them. We saw how many countries pull out last year? 3 or 4 countries pull out. Other countries are still in talks to pull out of the Commonwealth and everything like that. So it is the people who have the power at the end of the day. The British royals know that, and that's why they try to keep things nice and copacetic with the press. And unfortunately, in doing so, they sell each other out. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I just want to give another congratulations for Prince Harry for being brave enough to continuously take on the ugly, abusive, filthy British press. Congratulations on yet another win. And there you go, Piers Morgan. There you go. It's proven, signed, sealed, and delivered. You obtained information about Prince Harry illegally. You are out here stalking, harassing, and hacking a child, and you should be ashamed of yourself. That's all for now, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.